Mara stood in her small room, clutching a stuffed lion, a remnant of childhood, and a symbol of her connection to her best friend, Liam. The lion was soft and comforting, but it could not fill the growing emptiness in her heart. Just a few months ago, life had been vibrant. Mara and Liam spent every afternoon together, laughing, sharing secrets, and dreaming about their futures. But then Liam's family moved away. Suddenly, everything changed. Now, Mara felt like she was drifting in. Vast ocean, far from the shore where Liam still stood. The distance between them felt like a chasm, one that seemed impossible to cross. She often found herself staring at her phone, hoping for a message, but days turned into weeks, and silence filled the space where their laughter used to be. Every corner of her room reminded her of him, the games they played, the movies they watched, and the dreams they shared. She remembered the time they had climbed the old oak tree in the park, declaring themselves the kings and queens of their own kingdom. But now, that kingdom felt hollow, and Mara missed her friend more than she could express. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Mara sat on her bed, feeling the weight of loneliness pressing down on her. She picked up her phone, hesitated, and then put it back down. What would she even say? "Hi, I miss you?" It felt inadequate. She wanted to scream that she felt lost without him, but how could she convey that in a text? As tears brimmed in her eyes, she grabbed the stuffed lion and hugged it tightly. "What do I do, Leo?" she whispered to the toy, wishing it could talk back. In her heart, she knew that she had to find a way to reconnect with Liam. But how? The idea of reaching out felt daunting, like standing at the edge of a great cliff. The next day, Mara decided to take a walk to clear her mind. She strolled through the park, where the memories of laughter echoed in her mind. She passed the old oak tree and paused. It was still there, standing tall and strong. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. She could write Liam a letter. A real letter, not just a text. It would be personal, something he could hold in his hands. Feeling a rush of determination, Mara raced home and grabbed some paper and colored pens. She sat at her desk, her heart racing with excitement and fear. "Dear Liam," she began, pouring her feelings onto the page. She wrote about her days, her thoughts, and how much she missed him. She described the oak tree, their adventures, and how she felt like a part of her was missing without him. After finishing the letter, she folded it neatly and placed it in an envelope. With a sigh of relief, she felt a weight lift off her shoulders. It wasn't much, but it was a start. She addressed the envelope to his new home and asked her mom to take her to the post office. As they walked to the post office, Mara felt nervous but hopeful. What if Liam didn't care anymore? What if he had made new friends and forgotten all about her? But she pushed those thoughts away. She needed to try. She wanted to reach out and let him know she was still here, still thinking of him. When they arrived at the post office, Mara handed the letter to the clerk, her heart pounding. "Make sure it gets to him," she whispered. The clerk nodded, and as Mara watched the letter disappear into the slot, a smile crept onto her face. She had done it. She had taken a step toward reconnecting with her friend. Days turned into a week, and Mara found herself checking the mail every day, her heart racing at the sight of the mailbox. But there was no reply. Doubt crept back in, and she felt the familiar weight of sadness settle over her. Maybe it was a mistake to think he would want to hear from her. Then, one afternoon, as she returned from school, she noticed a small envelope sticking out of the mailbox. Her heart leaped. Could it be? She rushed to open it, and a smile broke across her face as she recognized Liam's handwriting. "Dear Mara," it began. He had written back. In his letter, Liam shared his new adventures, the challenges of moving, and how he missed her too. He described his new school, the friends he was making, and how he often thought of their time together. "You'll always be my best friend, no matter the distance," he wrote. Mara's heart swelled with joy as she read his words. She felt the connection between them grow stronger, bridging the gap that distance had created. With newfound energy, Mara decided to keep the letters going. She wrote back, sharing her own experiences, her hopes, and her dreams. They exchanged letters regularly, each one filled with laughter, memories, and promises of future adventures. With every letter, Mara felt less alone, as if Liam was right there beside her. One day, as she sat on her bed writing to Liam, she realized something important. The distance between them didn't have to mean the end of their friendship. Instead, it could be a new beginning. She felt empowered, knowing that she could reach out and connect with someone she cared about, no matter where they were in the world. As she finished her letter, she hugged Leo tightly. "We're going to be okay, aren't we?" she asked the stuffed lion. In that moment, she felt a deep sense of hope. She was no longer waiting for the end. She was waiting for the next chapter of their friendship to unfold. With a smile on her face, she sealed the letter and placed it in the envelope, ready to be sent. For the first time in a long while, Mara felt ready to face the world, knowing that even though they were apart, their bond would never break. Mara sat on her bed, her heart full of hope as she watched the sunlight filter through her window. After sending her letter to Liam, she felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted from her shoulders. She clutched Leo, her stuffed lion, tightly, feeling a warm comfort from the familiar toy. "I can do this," she whispered to herself, determination shining in her eyes. Days passed since she sent her last letter. Each morning, she rushed to the mailbox after school, anticipation dancing in her chest. But each day brought only disappointment. No letter from Liam. Mara tried to shake off the sadness. She had to believe that he was busy adjusting to his new life. After all, moving away was a big change. One Saturday, Mara decided to go to the park where she and Liam used to hang out. The old oak tree stood proudly in the center, its leaves rustling softly in the breeze. As she approached, memories flooded her mind. She recalled the countless afternoons they spent climbing that tree, sharing secrets and dreams. The thought of those times made her smile, but it also reminded her of how much she missed him. Sitting at the base of the tree, Mara pulled out her sketchbook. Drawing had always been her escape, and she began to sketch the tree, focusing on every detail. As she drew, she imagined Liam sitting beside her, laughing and teasing her about her artistic skills. "You know, I could draw better than that," he would say, and they would both burst into laughter. Suddenly, she felt a tingling sensation in her fingers. It was as if the tree was whispering to her, urging her to reach out. Inspired, she decided to write another letter to Liam, this time sharing her drawings. She would send him a piece of her world, a glimpse of what he was missing. Back home, she finished her sketch and wrote a new letter. "Dear Liam," she wrote, pouring her heart into the page. She told him about her day at the park, her love for drawing, and how she felt a little lost without him. She added the drawing, carefully placing it in the envelope. "I hope you like it," she wrote at the end. With the letter ready, she felt a rush of excitement. She would send it right away. As she walked to the mailbox, she noticed how beautiful the day was. The sun was shining, and children were playing in the park. For the first time in a while, she felt a sense of peace. Even though Liam was far away, she was still connected to him through their friendship. At the post office, she handed the envelope to the clerk, her heart racing. "Please make sure he gets this," she said, her voice soft but firm. The clerk smiled, and Mara left, feeling hopeful. Days turned into another week, and still there was no reply. Mara's heart sank again. She tried to distract herself with drawing and reading, but her thoughts always returned to Liam. She wanted to talk. To him, to hear his voice. She missed their late-night conversations about everything and nothing. One evening, while lying on her bed, she decided to call Liam. Her heart raced as she dialed his number, but the call went straight to voicemail. "Hey, it's Liam. I can't take your call right now, but leave a message." His cheerful voice said. Mara felt a wave of sadness wash over her, but she left a short message anyway. "Hi, Liam. It's me, Mara. I just wanted to say hi and that I miss you. Call me back when you can." After hanging up, she felt both relieved and worried. She had reached out, but what if he didn't call back? What if he had forgotten her? The uncertainty gnawed at her, and she clutched Leo tightly. Seeking comfort from the soft toy Dot the next day, she decided to visit the park again. As she walked, she saw familiar faces, children laughing and playing, couples walking hand in hand. She envied their connection. She longed for the same closeness with Liam. Sitting under the oak tree, she took out her sketchbook and started drawing again. Letting her emotions flow onto the page. Suddenly, her phone buzzed in her pocket. Heart racing, she pulled it out, hoping it was Liam. Instead, it was a notification from her email. New message from Liam flashed on the screen. She couldn't believe it. With trembling fingers, she opened the email. "Dear Mara," it began. Her heart soared as she read his words. He explained how busy he had been with school and making new friends, but he missed her too. He recalled their adventures. Mara stared at the old oak tree, its leaves shimmering in the sunlight. She and Liam had spent countless afternoons there, sharing secrets and dreams. Now, as she sat beneath its sturdy branches, the weight of his absence pressed heavily on her heart. Since Liam had moved away, everything felt different. The laughter they once shared seemed like a distant memory, and the world around her felt quieter. Lonely, our Dot, after Liam's surprise visit, Mara had felt a spark of joy. They had laughed and talked for hours, reminiscing about their adventures and the dreams they still held. But as the days passed after he left, the silence returned, and Mara found herself missing him more than ever. Their emails and letters were great, but they weren't the same as having him right there beside her. One afternoon, Mara decided to take a walk to clear her mind. As she strolled through the neighborhood, she noticed the little things, the sound of children playing, the smell of fresh flowers, and the warmth of the sun on her face. Each detail reminded her of the happy moments she had shared with Liam. She felt the ache of distance in her chest and wished she could bridge that gap. Returning home, Mara picked up her sketchbook and began to draw. Art had always been her escape, a way to express her feelings. As she sketched, she drew Liam sitting under the oak tree, laughing and pointing at the clouds. The image made her smile, but it also made her heart ache. She wanted to reach out to him, to share these moments and feelings. Yet she felt unsure of how to do that. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. What if she created something special? For Liam? A project that would bring a piece of her world to him, even from afar. She could gather her drawings and create a scrapbook filled with memories, stories, and sketches. It would be a way to show him how much he meant to her and how their friendship continued to thrive. Despite the distance, with renewed energy, Mara set to work. She spent hours collecting her best drawings, each one capturing a moment they had shared. There were sketches of their favorite spots in the park, the games they played, and even funny moments that made her laugh. She wrote little notes beside each drawing, explaining what made those moments special. As she worked, she felt a sense of purpose. This project was more than just art. It was a way to reconnect with Liam. She poured her heart into every detail, carefully arranging the pages and adding colorful decorations. It was like building a bridge between their two worlds. When she finished the scrapbook, Mara felt a rush of excitement. It was complete, and she couldn't wait to send it to Liam. She carefully wrapped it in brown paper and tied it with a string, her heart racing at the thought of his reaction. It felt like a piece of her soul was embedded in that book, and she hoped he would feel the same way when he saw it. The next day, with her mom's help, Mara went to the post office. As she stood in line, she felt a mix of nervousness and anticipation. Would Liam love it? Would it make him feel closer to her? When it was her turn, she handed the package to the clerk, her heart pounding. "Please make sure it gets to him quickly," she said, her voice soft but firm. As they walked home, Mara felt lighter. She had taken another step toward reconnecting with her friend. Over the next few days, she found herself daydreaming about the scrapbook and what Liam would say when he received it. She imagined him sitting in his new room, surrounded by his new friends, flipping through the pages and smiling at their memories. However, as the days turned into weeks, the anticipation began to fade into worry. What if the scrapbook got lost in the mail? What if Liam didn't have time to look at it? Doubts crept into her mind, and she found herself feeling distant again. The excitement she had felt after sending it was replaced with uncertainty. One evening, while lying on her bed, Mara picked up her phone and sent Liam a message. "Hey, I sent you something special a while ago. I hope you got it. I miss you." Her fingers trembled as she pressed send. She waited, staring at her phone, but there was no immediate response. She felt a wave of sadness wash over her. The next day, while sitting at the park, Mara received a notification. Her heart raced as she opened her phone. It was a message from Liam. "Hey, Mara, I got your scrapbook yesterday. It's amazing. I love all the drawings and memories." "Thank you so much." Mara's heart soared. She read his message over and over, feeling warmth spread through her. Liam loved it. He had taken the time to appreciate her effort. She quickly typed back, her fingers flying over the screen. "I'm so glad you liked it. I miss you so much. We need to plan a visit soon." Over the next few weeks, they exchanged messages almost daily. Liam shared stories about his new friends and experiences, and Mara told him about her days, her drawings, and her thoughts. Each message brought them closer, and the distance felt less daunting. They even started making plans for Liam to visit again during the summer. One evening, as Mara sat at the oak tree sketching, she felt a deep sense of gratitude wash over her. She realized that friendships could survive distance if both people were willing to put in the effort. They were building a bridge of memories and love that spanned the miles between them. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the park, Mara closed her sketchbook and hugged Leo tightly. She felt hopeful and excited about the future. Even though she had faced sadness and doubt, she had also discovered strength and creativity within herself. She had taken steps to reconnect with Liam, and their friendship had grown stronger because of it. In that moment, she understood that even the greatest distances could not diminish the bonds formed by love and friendship. She clutched her beast, waiting for the end. Then warm hands reached her. With every message, every drawing, and every shared memory, she felt Liam's presence beside her, reminding her that they would always be together, no matter the miles. Mara sat in her favorite spot under the old oak tree, sketchbook resting on her lap. The sun filtered through the leaves, casting playful shadows on the ground. It had been weeks since she sent her scrapbook to Liam, and the excitement of their recent messages still filled her heart with warmth. Yet, as she gazed at the familiar bark of the tree, she felt a familiar ache of longing. Even with their renewed connection, the distance felt heavy at times. Liam's last message had been filled with excitement about school, his new friends, and even a few funny stories about his new town. Mara loved hearing about his life, but she couldn't shake the feeling of being left behind. While Liam embraced new experiences, she felt stuck in the same routines. Her friends were busy, and the quiet of her home sometimes felt overwhelming. Determined to change that, Mara decided to reach out to Liam with another idea. They had talked about what they wanted to do when he visited again. She wanted to make that dream real. She grabbed her phone and typed a message. "Hey, Liam, I have an idea for when you visit. Let's explore the park and have a picnic under the oak tree. I'll bring all your favorite snacks." After sending the message, a wave of excitement washed over her. The thought of planning a fun day together made her heart race. She could almost picture them sitting under the tree, laughing and sharing stories. They would make new memories to add to their collection. Days passed, and Mara checked her phone constantly, hoping for a reply. Finally, she saw the notification that made her heart leap. "That sounds awesome, Mara. I can't wait. Let's make it a day to remember." His enthusiasm filled her with joy. They started planning the picnic together, exchanging ideas for food and games. As the day of Liam's visit approached, Mara felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She wanted everything to be perfect. She spent hours preparing, baking cookies, packing sandwiches, and even bringing along a blanket for them to sit on. She wanted to show Liam how much she had missed him and how much their friendship meant to her. On the day of the picnic, Mara woke up early, her heart racing with anticipation. The sun shone bright and warm, the perfect day for their reunion. She packed her backpack carefully, making sure to include everything they had planned. As she walked to the park, she felt like a child about to meet her favorite hero. When she arrived, the park was alive with laughter and the sounds of children playing. She found the old oak tree and spread out the blanket beneath it, setting up the picnic area. The gentle breeze rustled the leaves above her, and she felt a sense of peace. This was their place, and soon it would be filled with laughter again. As she waited, Mara's mind wandered. What if Liam had changed too much? What if they didn't have the same connection they once had? Doubts crept in, but she pushed them away. They had shared so much, and their friendship had proven strong despite the distance. Finally, she saw him walking toward her, a big smile on his face. He waved, and her heart swelled with joy. "Mara," he called out, running to her. They hugged tightly, and in that moment, everything felt right again. The warmth of his presence erased the doubts that had lingered in her mind. After they settled on the blanket, Mara pulled out the food she had prepared. "I made your favorite cookies," she said, her eyes sparkling. Liam laughed and took a cookie, savoring the taste. "These are amazing. I've missed these so much." They spent hours talking, reminiscing about their childhood adventures and sharing new stories from their lives. Mara felt the distance between them shrinking with every laugh and every shared memory. They played games, ran around the park, and even climbed the old oak tree. Mara sat in her room, her sketchbook open on her lap, but her mind wandered far from the drawings. The sunny day and the fun picnic with Liam felt like a beautiful dream. She could still hear his laughter echoing in her mind and see the joy in his eyes as they climbed the old oak tree. But the next day, as reality settled back in, the distance between them loomed large once more. After Liam returned home, it felt like a piece of her heart had traveled with him. They had promised to stay in touch, but the days turned into weeks, and Mara found herself staring at her phone, waiting for messages that didn't come as often as she hoped. She missed their conversations, their inside jokes, and the ease of being together. It was easy to feel connected during his visit, but now, sitting alone in her room, she felt the emptiness creep back in. Determined to bridge the distance again, Mara decided it was time to take action. She recalled how much joy their picnic had brought them and how much fun they had together. She wanted to create something special for Liam, a way to show him that no matter how far apart they were, She was still there for him. Inspired, Mara grabbed her sketchbook and began to draw. She envisioned a comic strip that illustrated their adventures together. Each panel would capture a fun moment, climbing the oak tree, playing their favorite games, and even the silly things they used to do. She wanted to make him smile and remind him of all the good times they shared. As she drew, her heart filled with hope. Creating the comic helped her channel her feelings of sadness into something positive. She poured her creativity into each panel, adding bright colors and funny captions. It felt good to relive those moments through her art. This comic would be a way for Liam to feel her presence, even from miles away. After spending several days working on the comic, Mara finally finished. She held the pages in her hands, feeling a mix of excitement and nerves. What if he didn't like it? What if it didn't convey how much she missed him? But she pushed those thoughts aside. This was a piece of her heart, and she wanted to share it. With her mom's help, Mara carefully packaged the comic and wrote a letter to accompany it. "Dear Liam," she began, pouring her feelings onto the page. "I wanted to send you something special to remind you of our adventures. I hope this makes you smile. I miss you so much and can't wait to create more memories together." Once everything was ready, she headed to the post office, her heart racing. She handed the package to the clerk, feeling a sense of pride in what she had created. "Please make sure this gets to him quickly," she said, her voice filled with hope. As she walked home, she felt a surge of excitement. She had taken a step to reconnect with Liam, and it felt empowering. For the first time since he left, she felt like she was doing something meaningful. Days passed, and Mara anxiously awaited Liam's response. Each time she checked her phone, her heart raced, hoping for a message. When a week had gone by, she began to worry. What if he didn't receive it? What if he was too busy to reply? Despite her doubts, she reminded herself that she had done everything she could. Then, one afternoon, as she was sitting in the backyard drawing, her phone buzzed. With a notification, Mara's heart skipped a beat. It was a message from Liam. "Hey, Mara, I got your comic. It's amazing. I laughed so much, especially at the part where we climbed the tree and I fell into the leaves." Mara's face lit up with joy. She read his message over and over, feeling warmth spread through her. He loved it. His excitement made her heart swell. She quickly typed back, "I'm so glad you liked it. I miss our adventures so much. We need to plan more fun things for when you come back." Their conversation flowed easily, filled with laughter and shared memories. Liam told her about his new friends and the games they played, but he always circled back to their time together. "You know, no matter how far apart we are, you'll always be my best friend," he wrote. Those words filled Mara with hope and reassurance. As the days went on, their friendship flourished. They exchanged stories, shared silly memes, and even played games online together. Each message brought them closer, and Mara felt the distance shrinking. It was as if they were building a bridge made of words, laughter, and memories that connected their two worlds. One evening, as Mara was drawing, an idea sparked in her mind. She wanted to create a virtual adventure for them. They could play an online game together that allowed them to explore new worlds and go on quests. It would be a way to share experiences again, just like they used to. Excited by the idea, she sent a message to Liam. "Hey, what if we play an online game together? We could explore new worlds and go on adventures. It'll be like our own virtual picnic," Liam responded almost immediately. "That sounds awesome. I'm in. Let's plan a gaming night this weekend." The thought of gaming together filled Mara with anticipation. She spent the next few days preparing, learning the game, and even sketching out a character design that represented them both. She wanted it to be special, a new chapter in their friendship that embraced both their creativity and the fun they shared. Finally, the weekend arrived. Mara set up her gaming space, making sure everything was ready. When the time came, she logged in and felt a rush of excitement as she saw Liam's character appear on the screen. "Hey, Mara, ready for an adventure?" he called out through the headset. "Absolutely," she replied, her heart racing with joy. They began their virtual quest, battling monsters, solving puzzles, and exploring enchanted lands together. Laughter filled the air as they navigated challenges, and it felt as if they were right back under the oak tree. Side by side. As they played, Mara realized how much she had grown. She had faced her fears of distance and isolation, and had taken steps to reconnect with Liam. They were creating new memories, proving that their friendship could thrive despite the miles between them. After hours of gaming, they finally completed their quest. Mara felt a sense of accomplishment and happiness. "That was so much fun. I can't believe we did it together," she exclaimed. Liam agreed, his voice filled with excitement. "We should do this more often. I feel like we're on more adventures than ever." As they logged off, Mara felt a deep sense of satisfaction. They had not only found a way to reconnect, but they had also created a new way to share experiences. She clutched Leo, her stuffed lion, feeling grateful for the journey they had shared. As she lay in bed that night, she thought about how far they had come. The distance that had once felt overwhelming was now just a part of their story. She clutched her beast, waiting for the end. Then warm hands reached her. With every laugh, every adventure, and every promise of future quests, she felt hope. Their friendship was stronger than ever, and she knew they could conquer anything together. No matter the distance. Mara woke up to the sound of birds singing outside her window. The sun was shining, and the world felt bright and full of promise. But even as she stretched and smiled, a familiar feeling of longing tugged at her heart. It had been a few weeks since she and Liam had their amazing gaming night, and while they had stayed in touch, she still felt a distance she couldn't quite shake off. After their virtual adventure, Mara had been riding high on the joy of reconnecting. They had shared laughter and excitement, but the reality of being apart still lingered in the back of her mind. Although they exchanged messages and played games, she missed the real-life moments, the warmth of his presence, the sound of his laughter, and the way they could talk for hours without worrying about anything else. One afternoon, as she sat under the old oak tree, sketchbook in hand, Mara thought about how to bridge that gap. She wanted to feel close to Liam again, not just through screens and messages. She remembered their fun picnic and wished they could do something like that again, but in a way that would bring them together despite the miles. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. What if they organized a virtual picnic? They could set a date and time, prepare their favorite snacks, and even video chat while they enjoyed their food. It wouldn't be the same as being together in person, but it would be a fun way to reconnect and share a moment, just like they used to. With a newfound sense of purpose, Mara rushed inside and grabbed her phone. She typed a message to Liam. "Hey, what do you think about having a virtual picnic this weekend? We can both make our favorite snacks and video chat while we eat. It'll be fun." She pressed send, her heart racing with excitement. A few moments later, her phone buzzed with a reply. "That sounds awesome, Mara. I can't wait. I'll make my famous sandwiches, and you can make those amazing cookies." His enthusiasm made her smile. It was settled. They would have their picnic, and she felt a wave of joy wash over her. As the weekend approached, Mara prepared for their virtual picnic. She decided to bake a batch of cookies, just like she had done before. The kitchen filled with the sweet smell of chocolate chips and vanilla, bringing back memories of their time together. Each cookie was a reminder of their friendship, and she hoped it would make Liam feel close to her, even from afar. On the day of the picnic, Mara set up her backyard with a blanket under the oak tree. She arranged the cookies, sandwiches, and lemonade on a small table, trying to make it feel special. With her phone set up on a stand, she was ready to connect with Liam. When the time finally came, her heart raced with excitement. She pressed the video call button, and soon Liam's smiling face appeared on the screen.